Out of the 7 Millennium Items, which item would you say is the most useful item? Well, I put a poll up between the 3 Millennium Items, the Millennium Eye, the Millennium Rod, and the Millennium Necklace, in which the Millennium Rod came out on top. However, in my opinion, there is a more useful Millennium Item which is kind of underrated and not many people's first go-to when they think of the 7, and that is the Millennium Key. What do we know about the Millennium Key, and how would that be something more powerful than the other items? Well, the Millennium Key to start has one of the most broken powers in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! A power called the Room of the Soul. Now this power allows the user to walk into someone's soul, which contains everything that makes you who you are. This includes your past and present memories, as well as what gives you hope, what makes you afraid, and a number of things which gives the user access to private, confidential information about a person's life. Now, some would argue that this is similar to the power of the Millennium Eye, with its ability to peer into the mind. However, with the Millennium Key, the scope is much greater. You can journey into someone's mind to see what makes them tick. I mean, that is, unless you've forgotten your memories and are unsure of who you truly are, then your Room of Soul would be a little difficult to access, similar to a 10. And yet that's not all. The next ability, that is on the same level as the Millennium Rod, is an ability called Redecorating, where the user of the Millennium Key can change the room of your soul in order to brainwash the person. Sound familiar? This ability can also remove or add parts into the person, changing their personality completely. Now, this may not be exactly as direct as the Millennium Rod, where you can order someone to do something in a very straightforward fashion. However, with the Millennium Key, you can indirectly change the person's soul enough for them to be willing to do your bidding. Similar to how Shadi uses the key on Professor Yoshimori. Don't worry though, these effects aren't permanent and can be undone if the user allows them to touch the Millennium Key. And let's not forget, similar to the Millennium Rod, the key can also telepathically communicate with others using the item. But even then, where this item soars above the rest is that it possesses other abilities still, which the other items do not. For example, when the transfer of a Millennium Item has occurred between users, the wielder of the Millennium Key can automatically sense it. And finally, the most broken power, and not something many people know, is the power to turn invisible. Yes, invisible to the naked eye, which is completely insane. So not only does this item's abilities compete with the powers of the Millennium Rod and Eye, it also has further abilities which put it in a class of its own.
今この千年銃を使ってこの少年の心の部屋を垣間見る。